measure land.
Yes. Is this different from quantity survey?
It is different. Surveyors actually determine the boundaries between properties.
Okay.
And they come up with their survey plans. But quantity surveyors actually estimate the resources that goes into a building project. The quantity of cement, the sand, the granite, the reinforcements, your roof and all that. So that you have an idea of what the project you are embarking on costs.
So we come from the architect, we go on to the quantity surveyor. Now the structural engineer is here. Engineer Raphael, what's the job of a structural engineer?
Thank you very much. Similar to the role and the function of the architect, because the architect bore the idea of the client and brings it into a functional drawing. It's depend upon the completed drawing done by the architect. The structural engineer role is to carry out strength calculation, load forces, moments, and determine the interaction and effect on the proposed construction. And sequel upon that is to prepare a functional drawing of that said structure and to ensure that that structure, when it is being built, it can avoid a worse situation or collapse when that structure is loaded. That's the role of a structural engineer.
So the architect, I tell him what I want. I want a 3-bedroom apartment. I want two toilets, 2 bathrooms. I want whatever. He puts it into drawing. And then the quantity surveyor looks at what the architect has done and says, oh, for this kind of building, this is what you would need in terms of granite, soil, and everything, and the total cost of it. The structural engineer then weighs and tells me, oh, this is what the kind of beam should be like, what the panel should be like, the weight and everything does. Okay, let's move on to the bricklayer. Mr. Jimo, welcome to the show. In fact, you're Nigerians' favorite. I must tell you that. At least based on the show today, Nigerians think that you can do everything. So tell me, Mr. Jimo, what do you do as a bricklayer? What's your usual routine like?
The problem, what we do is that when we got to the site, you have the engineer there. So engineer gives the instruction of what we are going to do before we carry out our work.
And some Nigerians tell me that they can just call you, that they don't need an engineer, that most bricklayers already know what to do in terms of the amount of materials you need, sand. Do you know the right measurement? Can you make a building without an engineer?
Why not? But the only problem there is that we have to see the structure that the architect drew and the surveyor plan, so we know what to do in terms of building this thing. But the most important thing is that if it is above a story or 2-story building, you need an engineer to inspect you to go right into what they need for the building.
Okay, but if it's below 2 stories, you can handle it. Now, let's talk about training. And some of my audience earlier on, they claimed that the bricklayers are well trained because of their experience, and they don't even trust those of you who have gone to school to study these things. So let's talk about the experience. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Jimo. So what kind of training do you have? How many years of experience have you got? And where did you learn how to make buildings from?
At least I've been into this job like 25 years.
Wow.
So, and I learned it from Agege.
Okay.
I have a master that trained me in Agege. Yes.
25 years. I mean, that's some time. All right, Engineer Raphael, what's your training like?
I would like to make a reference to what the bricklayer said.
Okay.
That they can actually build the house prevention without the supervision of an engineer. So due to the kind of situation we have in the country, we don't have tight regulation that can regulate things. Because when you're going beyond the story building, for instance, you can hide your inadequacy in a bungalow, or once you are going above suspicious story, 1-story, 2-story building, you need adequate structural design. You need the presence of a structural engineer, because when you look at it, when the building is loaded, you take the slab. When it is loaded, what are the forces? What are the loaded things? So over time, it's just like a housemaid living with the madam. see the madam put in 2 cubes of Maggi and at this particular time they put a little quantity. So what they do, they just calculate, at this particular she put this, but you don't know the science behind it. There's a science behind everything. So why their inadequacies is shown from the building, because it is a common area for them. So whether 1-story building or 2-story building, the presence of an engineer is needed. There are so many questions you can put to all those bricklayers. It's just because we have a lot of uninformed people. A lot of people went to school, but did not pass through them. Because before you want to do any construction, you need the presence of the structural engineer. Look at the 21-story building that collapsed. How can one is a building that has been assigned or approved for 15-story, and you loaded it beyond 15-story? What do you expect? If it's going to buckle, that is going to fail. But like I told you again, experience is permissible. You understand? Science cannot be underrated. In everything.
While experience is good, science cannot be underrated. I love that line. Experience is good, but science cannot be underrated. I'm coming to you, Architect Tayo. So what's your training like and your experience also?
Actually, I have an experience in construction for 13 years now. In supervisory roles, in design roles, and also in conceptual roles in producing functional drawings and functional architectural plans and all that as well.
On your own, if there isn't an engineer available, can you supervise a building?
Yes, I can, but I will need the help of an engineer as well.
So because I hear that a lot of I'm saying this based on the conversations I've had earlier. Some people say, someone said to me, there's an architect in front of my house, he has a shop. We just go to him, he does the drawing and he handles everything.
But sincerely speaking, it's a teamwork. Every field in construction is very, very important. Everyone has a role to play. Even the artisans, as well as the engineers, as well as the quantity surveyors, as well as the land surveyors as well. Everybody has different roles to play. The architect designs, the structural engineer follows the design of the architects in bringing out his columns, beams, and slabs, as well as cantilevers and etc. Even the concrete mix, it is the work of the structural engineer to do it proportionately, as well as the sizes of reinforcements. The only thing the architect will do there is that after designing, while construction is going on, he proceeds to the sites intermittently and check whether everything he designed is in conformity with the specifications. There are specifications which we can never rule out in construction.
Let me come back to the quantity surveyor. He's also a construction industry expert. So you've been here. Tell me about your training also and your experience.
Been around for about 13 years, at least as a professional. And I studied this in school, got trained in a construction company, a series of even construction companies, and a practicing firm. And before even being licensed by my professional body, you have to write exam, which I did. You are interviewed, and you are given a license, which is an endorsement of your competence and capabilities. Which gives some sort of confidence to clients. So it's important that even when you want to embark on a project, you have an idea of the cost. It's
before
key,
you even start.
Before it starts, it's key to preventing abandonment of projects. And when you look at even the implications of abandoning projects, it could compromise public safety. Some of the abandoned projects, you see them as hideouts for criminals. So that's even on a larger space. But when clients gets an estimate for a project, it helps them plan. Can I afford it? Do I need to scale down on the scope? So you have that discussion with the QS. Eventually, it serves as your construction accountant to help you manage the cost of the project. And even during construction, he's also ensuring that he's monitoring what the contractor is doing, dealing with claims, mitigating claims.
Oh, you see that claim thing? I'm coming to that. But let me stay with, planning the cost before I even start. I'm coming back to Mr. Jimo, the people's favorite, because he represents the bricklayers. You all agree that the bricklayers are the people's favorite.
Yes.
We all agree.
It's ignorance.
But right now, they are
In Nigeria.
in Nigeria.
In
they are the
Nigeria
people's
specifically,
favorite. That is
But I
it.
think people are getting more knowledgeable now.
I doubt. Did you listen to me at 5 a.m.? You have to
I
also
did.
read some of the comments I have here. They think we're being elitist. I'll open the phone lines and then you hear stuff.
Okay.
All right, the people's favorite, Mr. Jimo, Baba Beji. Now, the quantities. Yes, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing.
The quantity surveyor says if I want to build a house, he helps me do the costing. He tells me how much it will cost. Can you do that for me? Do I need a quantity surveyor? Can you tell me if I want to build a one-story building, 4 flats, can you tell me how much it would cost? Is this something you can do?
Why not?
So why do we need you
Like,
guys?
It's something that a bricklayer can do if you have the experience and you know the quantity of what you need for the bedroom flat, maybe 2 or 3 bedroom flats.
Mm-hmm.
You know the quantity of what you need. You know how many blocks to be contained to make a room and what you need. So you can actually bring out the number of what you need and make it a quotation and give it to them if they can afford it.
But, so please tell me, why do we need you?
What usually happens is that, like for him that is a bricklayer, they keep coming again to say, okay, we estimated this is not adequate, so you are forced to actually release more money.
Also, they don't make accurate estimates.
They don't make accurate estimates.
Is that true, Mr. Jimo? Your estimates might not be accurate. I might need to bring more money later on. Is that true?
No.
If you tell me this building will cost 2 million naira, can I bring 2 million naira and I can go to bed and my building will be complete?
Why not? Since I've known what I need there, this is the actual amount I need to do this, and this is the actual amount of my own workmanship. So
how does it determine
I don't
that?
see any big deal there. But only what you need now is, these days, everything is about education.
Yeah.
So you need an engineer. That's what they said. You need an engineer to be beside you for his own experience in the school so that can make everything go perfectly.
So aside the engineer, you're telling me that you don't need the quantity surveyor. Let me also ask you, I know personally people who made buildings and didn't go through an architect. I have a half plot of land. I want 2 bedrooms. And the bricklayer comes and say, now, we'll put 1 room here, sitting room here, parlor here, kitchen here. So do you essentially need an architect? In Nigeria, practically, have you had people come to meet you to say, build me a house? I don't have a building plan.
Yes, we've done that a lot of times. That people just came and take you to a virgin land, and I said, please, we don't have much, but what can you build on this virgin land? Maybe a 2-bedroom flat or a room, parlor, self-contained. It depends on how the person has the money. We are talking about money. Money did everything in Nigeria now. Well, let's say in the world. So it depends on what you have. That's what you are going to carry out for you.
Okay, that's it. I mean, my phone lines are buzzing. I'm coming to...
In reference to what the bricklayer said.
Yes. It says we don't need you,
That's
essentially.
why not they don't need an architect.
Yeah.
In construction, in architecture, there are standards. There are what we call building laws and by regulations. If a bricklayer comes, a bricklayer may not give me the standard size of a room.
Nigerians don't care.
Which is acceptable. I'm coming.
Once my
I'm coming
bed
to
can
something.
fit in and there's one room.
and they won't give you something functional. There's one thing we call functionality in construction. Functionality means flow. How you flow in a building. How the kitchen leads to the dining. How the dining accesses to the living rooms. How the bedrooms accesses to the ensuite toilets and bathrooms. So that's why functionality is very key and very, very important. So the first thing an architect does, he conceives the idea. He looks at the client. He studies the lifestyle of the clients, what the client wants. That is what is developed into a brief.
I need to go on a break. I'll be right back. Hold that thought, don't go away, Nigeria.
Okay.
This is an infomercial.
Hey guys, I have some good information for you that will definitely put smiles on your face. It's the biggest deal of the year, the Jumia Black Friday sale, and it is here. And it has so much packed for you. Friday is Explosion Day. Unbeatable deals every Friday. I'm talking about the treasure hunt happening midnight by 6 p.m. Get a chance to hunt for the iPhone 13 and also secure 200,000 naira voucher and a 1-year Jumia Prime subscription. You also have the 5K store where everything is 5K or less. The flash sales every Friday during the Black Friday deals from 12 midnight, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 6 p.m. Also, guys, there's some benefits you get as a customer by engaging in the Jumia Black Friday sales. You have the Jumia Prime benefits. Save on every order with Jumia Prime with 0 delivery. For those who buy regular on Jumia, subscribe to Jumia Prime and pay 1 naira for 1 month. Jumia Prime subscribers will get 10% off on the first order during the Jumia Black Friday sales. Also, you can pay on delivery. Customers can get vet products on delivery before making payment. Customers who are skeptical about inputting their bank details to shop online. Also, customers who want to take advantage of the deals during the Black Friday sales but prefer to pay cash or with POS on delivery. All this and so much more you can get from the Jumia Black Friday sales, one of the biggest sales this year. Don't miss out on this amazing experience.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Dem no dey tanda one place dey wait for life o. You go sharparly waka go meet am. No be how many chance wey you get na im matter o. Na wetin you take am do na im be the koko. As day dey break dey go, cup after cup, with better smell wey dey tinkolo body. And omyomyo taste of Nescafe 3-in-1. Your day don start gidigba be that o. E con still finish gidigba. Nescafe don land now for sachet for shinkily 70 naira. With Nescafe, everything don start be that o.
We've had many battles, we have won some wars, but in all our struggles, we have lost loved ones. It may be cloudy outside, but not for very long. We will surely see the sun, 'cause we know no matter the weather, no matter the tide, we go there together. We stand by your side. No yawa, no problem. Go fit stand to fight us. We go stand together. We go beat them down.
Do you own or run a food or grocery business in VI, Ikoyi, Lagos Island, Aja, or other parts of Lagos and would like more customers to buy from you? Or are you a rider looking to serve more businesses on the island and other parts of Lagos? Then you should sign up on Instant Trolleys, Nigeria's most reliable online food and groceries ordering platform. As a vendor on Instant Trolleys, you will pay no charge for the first month, reach thousands of customers within your locality, receive your payments within 24 hours, enjoy the lowest commission charge available today, track riders' activities, and much more. As a rider as well, you will extend your network of clients and boost your income while applying your usual routes. To register on Instant Trolleys, visit www.instanttrolleys.com. Instant, TROLLEYS.com, or call 091-2269-6917 today. Instant Trolleys, your needs at your fingertips.
When I was 5 months pregnant, I started using bio oil for stretch marks. I must say, if I'd known about it before, I would have started using it earlier. I've been really impressed with the results.
Bio oil helps improve the appearance of scars, stretch marks, and uneven skin tone. Bio oil is available in all leading pharmacies and shops. Bio oil is also available online on Jumia on the Bio Oil official store. For more information, please contact Bio Oil Nigeria on Facebook. To identify original Bio Oil products, look out for the Sproxel, scratch, and text pin. Bio Oil skincare oil is clinically proven as safe for its intended use by adults, including
federal government through NPHCDA commenced phase 2 vaccination of all persons 18 years and above with safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines approved by WHO and certified by NAFDAC. Special arrangement has been made for staff, their dependents and retirees of ministries, departments and agencies of government, private corporate organizations, and non-governmental organizations. To benefit from this special arrangement, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng/corporate vaccination/ to obtain, fill, and submit the Google form. NPHCDA will contact you within 48 hours. Protect yourself, your family, and your workplace against COVID-19. COVID-19 vaccines are free, safe, and effective. For further inquiries, call 0700-220-1122 or send a mail to covid19.vaccination@nphcda.gov.ng. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Someone gave me this script to read, but I'm JJ Okocha. I don't know how many words I must read in a minute. I play football, not Mr. Actor. I don't read scripts. I'm at my best when I feel this. That feeling? That's Betking. Join us at betking.com.
For those wondering why Schweppes changes look, experience tells us. Change is inevitable. Schweppes, made with over 200 years of experience.
Our friend Oliver is what you call a man with a huge appetite. Gigantic, actually. And if there's one phrase we have come to know Oliver for, it is this.
More data, please.
No matter what we offer him.
More data, please.
So, guess what we did? We heard Glow created new data plans for people like Oliver, and we got him exactly that. And guess what Oliver said?
Excuse me, please, is this all for me? Only me?
Now, Oliver certainly has more than enough data. All thanks to the Glow Mega Data Plans.
With the longer validity you get on Glow Mega Data Plans, you can work from home with ease, run your business better, download non-stop, stream music and movies endlessly, learn online, and share data with anyone. No worries. Get 225 gigabytes at 30,000 Naira for 30 days, 425 gigabytes at 50,000 Naira for 90 days, and 1 terabyte at 100,000 Naira for a year. Dial *777# now to start enjoying these mega plans.
Glow Unlimited.
We know Sakpa is shocking. We know accounts bread. We know the streets are not smiling. We know the hustle must pay. That's why this Jumia Black Friday is a big deal.
We know the economy is not smiling, and that's why Jumia Black Friday is a big deal. From the 5th to the 30th of November, enjoy big deals up to 50% off on tech and electronics, fashion, health and beauty, groceries, and many more. Visit the Jumia site or download the app to shop all deals. Jumia, every day is Black Friday.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We are back. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. Tough conversation we're having. I know you're not ready for it, but I'm ready for it. And that's why I'm here for you. Welcome to the show. As I promised you yesterday, I have a full house today. I've got an architect. I've got a quantity surveyor who's also a construction industry expert. I have a structural engineer and your favorite person, Baba Beji, the bricklayer, Mr. Jimo Olokodano. They're all here with me on the show. Thank you, gentlemen, for holding on during the break. So we were having a conversation about architecture, yes. And Baba Beji tells me that people ask him, oh, I have this land, what can you build? It doesn't need the drawing.
I was talking about functionality earlier, which determines convenience in a building. Now, you said probably Nigerians don't care. They will just build a room since a bed fits in. How convenient will be that bed? What's the circulation space that you will be applying within that bedroom? That's what we call functionality. Now, I'll go back again also about functionality in terms of roof. Because in the architectural drawings, there's a part we call the sections. In our sections, we determine the materials which we are to use for the roof. Probably it will be well insulated. Probably it will be thermally insulated. So if it is not well insulated, or if it is not thermally insulated, when the roof comes on the building, the occupants begin to feel hot while they are occupying the space. So those are part of the things which I call functionality and functionality in construction and convenience.
Baba Beji, what's your reaction to this? I mean, functionality. How functional are the houses you build? Is there a flow, like the architect says, in the house from the bedroom to the kitchen, the dining area? How do you determine this flow?
Well, as the architect said, is right. But notwithstanding, all this is experience. You need an experience for that. When you want to make a construction, you know what you want to do. So I don't think there is any about the architect is saying. Mine is when you have the experience, you know what you want to carry out, everything is going to be perfect.
Someone agrees with you on Facebook. That's Henry Chi. He says 25 years practical experience is better than 5 years first class graduate from university in Nigeria. I agree with the bricklayer. So many people agree with you. Another person here says, this is Idris Dario Ore, says some bricklayers that have gained experience through engineers will build you a perfect building. We shouldn't be condemning the bricklayer simply because he lacks education. Oh, he has education, maybe not formal education. If you are fortunate to have worked with Benin and Togo bricklayers, you will see skills, that they have skills. All right, there's a video going around. I'm coming to the structural engineer Raphael, which I talked about earlier on the show. Someone is asking me to bring this back up. There's a video now I see of people building houses and substituting metal rods in the whatever that thing with the bamboo. Is this industry standard? Is this acceptable? I was scared when I saw it. Some people say the bamboo can be substituted for iron rods. Is this so?
Is that question for me?
Can you speak louder for us?
Okay. Earlier on, I was giving you the role of the structural engineer. The role of a structural engineer does not just limited to one person carrying out the work. You're going to research, you're going to planning.
We can barely hear you. If you could speak louder, I'll really be glad.
Okay, like I said earlier on, that the role of the structural engineer is not limited to design alone. But we go into research, we go into planning, we go into design, construction, inspection, monitoring. But let me just go into research and also with respect to the bamboo you're saying. Like I told you again, everything is all about science. Engineering is dynamic. With each day that comes, different problems, different issues. So you need different advances, different ways to tackle all the problems. Now, the issue of bamboo, there are researchers that have done a research in that area before. But even in India, currently, I know there are construction that people use bamboo, but it is limited again to certain height. You've also seen suspended floor that they use wood. There are limitations to all these things because, one, in the mind of the engineer has calculated the effect of whatever load that will be transmitted upon that thing. So it's not out of place when you see something like that, maybe, but in Nigeria, we've not come to that threshold whereby we can start doing things like that. Even there are PET bottles, there's something we call PET bottles, this plastic Coke bottle. You can even use it for construction. But in Nigeria, the cost of the kind of regulation is because of our engineer, because of our professional bodies and other relevant bodies, is not brought up tight regulations to regulate certain things like this. And
this would have helped us with managing, a lot of plastic bottles in our environment. We have a lot of plastics. Why then aren't we using them? Yes.
Permit me. I want to say something earlier on when you asked the architect if he can actually construct a building. Yeah, the architect said that he can supervise, but I would like that to be well clarified so that there should not be any ambiguity. The architect only comes to supervise to make sure his work is being conformed to. But with respect to the structural work, the architect does not have any supervision with respect to the structural work. But just to confirm that what he designed is actually what is being built.
Right.
Then coming back to the PET bottle and the bamboo.
Yeah.
Like I said again, we undergo research. We seek okay, if you have such a problem, what do you do? You see, there's something we call variety. You cannot substitute iron rod for anything. The iron rod is what we use to sustain tensile stresses. So when you are removing your reinforcement, what you are using can scatter for it. It's adequate to resist whatever load, whatever
is coming up on it.
So that is the issue.
All
but
right.
For now, we are still green. We are still immature in our engineering.
All right. I hear you. I'd like to talk.
Desire that we get to that height because no country can develop without engineering being regulated to the backbone. Look at countries like Japan. Look at Korea. Look at the United States of America, Britain, France. The reason why they are where they have to be is because of engineering. Engineering has been catapulted. No society can develop without engineering. So if we regulate engineering.
I hear you. I hear you, Engineer Raphael. Let me jump quickly to the quantity surveyor. People want to call in, and I have limited time. Now, one of the things you do is to ensure that there is insurance.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I just stumbled on this morning. There's Section 4 of the Insurance Act that specifies, I'm going to read it again, that no person shall cause to be constructed any building of more than 2 floors without insuring with a registered insurer his liability in respect to construction risk caused by his negligence or the negligence of his servants, agents, consultants, which may result in bodily injury or loss of life or damage to property of any workman on the site or any member of the public. Also, there's a penalty here for contravention. So if you have such building and you don't have insurance, the penalty is a fine of 250,000 naira or imprisonment of about 3 years or both. This law, is it being implemented in Nigeria? Do people get insurance for their buildings? It's your job. Do you have people ask you to do this?
The problem we have in Nigeria is enforcement. But when you engage a professional quantity surveyor, it ensures that there are adequate insurance on the project to cover everyone, third parties.
What if the client tells you he's not interested in getting insurance? Do you still go ahead?
That's why you're a professional. It's an employment for service. Not of say you are not employed within his organization. So you stand your ground.
So that's precisely what one of my callers said in the morning. They want the bricklayers because the bricklayers will obey them. They don't want you guys because you are bossy. You tell them what to do and they don't want you to tell them what to do. They want to tell you what they want you to do. Architect.
And nobody regulates them. Nobody regulates.
They want to self-regulate
them. So you have professionals who have licenses that are renewed every year
and do work according to standards.
Yes. And they are regulated even by government.
Exactly.
So let me ask a tough question. Taking a cue from the Ikoyi building collapse, that's why I've brought all of you together, actually, if I'll tell you the truth. So we hear a lot of fingers pointing at the structural engineer in that building. Nobody has asked any question about the architect, about the quantity surveyor, or whoever, electrical engineer. I don't know what other kinds of engineers work. In the instance where there is a building collapse, who should we hold responsible?
First is the structural engineer. That is if you check the
there's
designs,
one.
If there's one. And the contractor to check if he actually builds in accordance with the design of the structural engineer.
So who should we hold responsible, architect?
Truly, it should be the structural engineer because first and foremost, he is in charge of the structural design, as is in charge of the structural framework. Also, civil works in general is in charge. So whenever there is a collapse in a building, majorly is being affected by the civil works. Because the civil works is the body. It's like the skeleton of the building. The mechanical engineer, the MEP services, those are just services, mechanical, electrical.
So you're saying everything falls on the table of the structural engineer?
Majorly.
Engineer Raphael, you are here.
Yeah.
You are here. Do you have anything in defense of yourself, or is this true? In the instance of a collapse, are we holding you alone, structural engineers alone, responsible?
You know, it is very easy when there is a collapse then all other professions, they absorb and push the blame to the structural engineer.
Right.
When it's time for construction, they can actually do a construction without a structural engineer. But be that as it may, when you have a collapse, the first thing investigation will carried out first. They look at the structural drawing. Was the structural drawing adequately designed? If the structural drawing was adequately designed, then it therefore exonerate the structural engineer. Then it gets to the contractor, whoever is carrying out the construction. They look at it that what the structural engineer design, was it conform to? If it was not conform to, then the liability goes to the contractor. And in situation again, the client always want to override the structural engineer decision. If the structural engineer has designed something and you say no, you want this, and again the structural engineer, what the structural engineer can do is to put it in pen and writing. I'm withdrawing from this project as a result of what you're doing. You are going beyond the boundary of what I've done on the basis of science. Just like what the structural engineer did at the collapse. Pulled out, he gave a written document that I've designed it and I cannot guarantee the structural stability of this project because they have gone beyond what I've designed. In such a situation, the client will also be held responsible, and that is why thorough investigation needs to be set up by government. For people that are held liable to be incarcerated, even into prison, so that such will stand as a deterrent for people that want to cut corners in the construction industry.
Thank you. One more thing. I sincerely hope that I can take any calls, but this conversation needed to be had. The architect, we had a conversation during the break about one of your roles is to get this approval for the drawings. Right? So which means that a lot of people who use only the bricklayer, and there's so many of them who trust the bricklayer solely for their buildings, it means they do not have
approved plans. Exactly, which is registered by the town planning authorities. Because
is this against the law?
It is against the law. It contravenes the building laws. It contravenes the law, because you are not supposed to put a structure down without approval. Because first and foremost, when the brief comes from the client, the architect designs, he draws his plans, the architectural drawings, he produces the architectural drawings, then he passes it to the structural engineer. The structural engineer brings out his structural designs. Afterwards, he passes again to mechanical engineers and electrical engineers. They to produce their designs as well. So all these set of drawings are now collated together, are now taken, and before they are even collated, it will be sealed by a registered professional. A registered architect must seal the architectural drawings with his license. A registered electrical engineer, a registered civil engineer or structural engineer too should seal the drawings, the set of drawings. It might come in 4 sheets, it might come in 5 copies, So it is taken to the approval authority, to the town planning authority. They open a file, they begin to vet. So while construction is yet to start.
While construction is yet to start. I'm very certain most of our houses in Lagos don't fall. Final question before I go to the lines. One of the biggest problems why they don't come to you. You're going to tell me first, if Nigerians don't patronize you, what are you guys doing? I was asking earlier. So if they don't come to you, how are you making money? What are you doing instead? Are you selling shoes? Are you selling shirts? If they're not coming to you, how are you making money? Secondly, how expensive are you? 10 seconds. How expensive is the quantity
expensive. If you look at the value that professionals bring to the table, vis-a-vis the risk you face of not engaging them, you discover that what you are paying is inconsequential.
Give me a range. If I want to employ a quality surveyor to build a 1-story building, what's the range? Am I looking at 500,000, 1 million? It's
not expensive. It's not expensive, because a bungalow, a story building is not something that extensive or massive compared to a high-rise building.
You've not given me a cost. Give me a price range.
I can't give you a price range on
all
here.
Right, what's the price range?
I'll give you a price range.
What's the price range?
Of a bungalow to design and to approve.
Yeah.
It may not cost less than 600, 700,000. And approve.
Design and approve.
And approve.
Structural engineer. Please tell me, Engineer Raphael, what's the average cost to get a structural engineer on my building, a 1-story building?
It depends on the complexity of the drawing. I cannot just...
No, just give me a range. Just throw the ball around. Just a range.
Like I said again, it will have been easy for me to just throw a figure, but it only depends again on the complexity of the architect. The architect, they are so very the architect can dream. They are very good at dreaming.
No, I know, but just give me a range. Are we talking about 600,000 like he does, or in that bracket?
Sincerely, if it were possible for me, it's just like you want to buy something that you've not seen. It's only when you've seen that you want to buy.
Would you know how much it cost? Okay, all right.
Their scale of fees actually approved by the government.
Oh.
Yes. Which is determined by the cost of the fees is determined by the cost of the project. So if it is low, the fees is low. If it is high, it goes commensurate.
Baba Beji, Mr. Jimo, you tell me, if I want to build, say, a 1-story, 4-flat building, an average, what would be your workmanship, your cost workmanship?
I can't actually give you that now. Because before doing anything, you have to put a paper down, then get all the actual what you need.
No, I'm not talking including materials. I'm saying your own fees. Just an average.
Fees.
Yes, your own fees.
At least you can get me, let's say, 800.
800, and that eliminates 600. Eliminates 600. Eliminates 600.
What the professional charges you for is his own professional fees,
not for materials and workmanship.
You understand? And it's
yeah, but that's his own professional fee too. That's his job.
No, that is his own workmanship.
Yeah, but that's his profession.
Labor.
That's your labor. Also, you're drawing the plan is your labor. You're giving me the cost is your labor.
We need to educate people. You see, take for instance what the structural engineer does. It does load calculations.
Yeah.
And artisan can't do that.
I agree.
You understand? So you can have experience and they thrive in even the informal sector. And even in informal sector, we do resources scheduling, whereby we determine the quantities of materials, the quantum of labor that goes into it. So you're able to vet what
that cost
that man gives you. You understand? Whether he has even over budgeted or under budgeted, so it helps you in actually even dealing with them.
It's also being calculated by square meters in respect to what you said.
So
it depends on the volume.
That's the informal, but in the formal sector where you have an RIS, I think it should be. Don't let me use the word for you to bring a Babarisika or whatever to a 25-story building or 21-story building.
Although he also agrees that once it's beyond 2 floors, he definitely needs a structural engineer. Someone tells me here
the ground floor, because for you to get approval, you must provide even the suspended floor for a 2-story building you are talking about as reinforcement, as concrete. It's going to carry load. He cannot.
Okay, I need to go on a break. This is kicking me out right now. All right, thank you, gentlemen. I'll be right back, Zinkarai.
This is an infomercial.
University admission. Gain admission now. GAN 21 offers you the rare privilege.
today. AXA, know you can.
Okay. I know I couldn't allow you guys to call in. I know you really want to be a part of this conversation. So I will take your responses to this conversation at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Everything you wanted to say today, bring it to me at 5 a.m. Tomorrow morning when we talk about it. I have 1 minute. I really need to go now. But I hope that with these few points of ours, you now believe that you need professionals in making solid buildings in Nigeria, and that while you are pointing one finger at the build multinational companies, 4 other fingers are pointing at you and asking you, what are you doing when you're making your buildings? I really need to go. So I thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show. Architect Tayo Oguntade, thank you very much for being here. Mr. Jibola Olatoto, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Engineer Raphael Joshua, thank you for your time, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Mr. Jimo Lokodano, thank you very much for joining the show today. Okay, that's me hoping that you heard me. All right, guys, I need to go. I'm back with you tomorrow at 5 a.m. till 9. Jimmy, this is coming in after the news. My name is Wemimo Adewuni. Let's talk on social media as Wemimo Sports. If you yab me, I'll give you a response tomorrow. Bye now.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.